So Webflow E-Commerce, pretty cool thing that you can sell things without having to write a single line of code. Now there's other products out there like Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and stuff like that that let you sell stuff, let you create a website that can sell things without having to code. But if you use the power and understand the power of Webflow already, then building Webflow e-commerce store makes total sense. But I'm going to get you through the very, very basics of this and take your questions, if you have any, about it. So if you're a marketer, graphic designer, someone who doesn't want to start from a blank page, totally understand. Use a free template from Webflow to start out with, okay? And what's good about using a free website template is that if you're on a free Webflow account, you're limited to 2 static pages, 50 CMS items, and that's it. Okay, so you can only make up to 2 websites, but each website only has 2 static pages and 50 dynamic 50 CMS items. However, if you start from a template, then you unlock more than that while still on the free starter account plan. So I would suggest doing something like this. Like I'll go to Chomp right here. It's free. Click it, and you'll see what you get. You get a beautiful design already, and what you can do is just change all the colors out, change the imagery, the text, whatever you want. Start from here and click on Use for Free. When that happens, you'll get this screen, and click on Create Project. Okay, and you can name your project whatever. Name it whatever. And then it'll create the site. And boom, you're ready to start building. And again, if you're on a starter plan, you only get 2 pages, but this one already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you already have 7 pages to work with and e-commerce, and you're still on the free plan. This, if you're still evaluating Webflow, this is the best way to go because you can mess around with as many things as you can before getting into a paywall. All right. And what I mean by paywall is before you have to actually have to upgrade your account plan or your site plan. All right. So let's pretend that this is what I want. This is the layout I want. And so if you want to change any colors, for instance, this color right here, this is not part of your brand color. You can just click on it, go down to color right here, click on that. And if you don't notice, this has a triangle, all right? So what triangle means is it's a global swatch. And when you change this color, it changes everywhere else on the website that's using that same swatch. And so you need to click on the edit button, edit swatch, and then change this color. Let's change it to purple. And so notice how this element, this one, and this one, they all changed, including this one. All of them changed to a different color because they're all connected to that one global swatch. That's what that triangle means. So that triangle is just a little itty bitty triangle, but it has so much impact across the whole template. All right. So that's what global swatches does. So let's make it purple right there. And then I'm going to click save. And there we go. Already I've changed so much. Even that top bar, that announcement bar, I've changed that as well with just a couple of seconds. All right. So that's how you start styling stuff in a template. All right. If you need to change an image, just double click the image and then replace. That's all you got to do. Okay. And for logos like this, you would need to double click inside of a symbol, double click the image again, and just replace that logo. Okay. All right. Now we scroll down. If like you see like graphics in the background, you can just click on the section and notice in the styles panel right here, we have background shape content. Now, if I click on the eyeball to hide it, watch what happens. That background goes away. All right. So you can delete, you can remove or hide that background, or you can just click on it and change the image to something else. Okay. And even with the free starter plan, you can start uploading your own images, your own background images. You can upload as much assets as you want into Webflow. The starter account plan is free and there is no limitation to how many assets you upload. So go at it. Yeah. Right, so that's those basic things. Now let's just go straight into more of e-commerce stuff like this. Now if I click on this, notice how this tab right here is purple. But if I click on like something like this text, this is blue. See that tab? It's blue. So why is that? What is the difference? So blue means it's static, meaning it's not connected to a database. It's not connected to a Webflow collection. So when I change that, that has no effect on what's coming from the collections or for e-commerce coming from the products. Okay. So if I click on this, notice we have the white and then the purple. So white or blue. So you can see here it's blue. Here it's blue and white. That means it's static. But if I click on this, it's purple, and the tab is purple here as well. That means this information is coming from the Webflow e-commerce or Webflow collections settings. All right. So if I click on this and I'm like, oh, I want to change the name of Burger Dreams, I can't. But if I double click on browse our menu, yes, I can change that. So if I want to change a product, all of this content right here is being pulled from the Webflow e-commerce tab. Okay, so if I click on the shopping cart and go to products, this is where all my stuff is. So Burger Dreams is right here. That's a massive burger. I've never had burger with a fried egg. Is it good? I've seen it before, but I'm like, ugh. Like my stomach just feels ugh just by looking at it. Anyways, if I want to change the name of that, I can do so right here and say Burger Time. I don't know. That's a video game name. But like Burger Time. And then save it. Now watch what happens if I go back to the web page. There we go. It's been changed here. So it might seem like it's a roundabout way to change text, but it makes sense because you're actually updating a database, aka Webflow collection. Okay, so yeah, so you can edit the price, the description, and whatnot. That's where all of these items come from. So if you want to start changing your products inside of this free template, you can do so by clicking on e-commerce, products, and go to town. You can even select them all. So hold on, let me zoom in. So you can select and then click on this to select them all and delete them. You can delete all the pre-created products, or you can just go through each one and start editing each one to what you need. Okay? So this is all for basic physical products. One of the new things that Webflow has created is this feature right here where you can tell Webflow what kind of product it is. Is it a physical one? Is it digital? Is it a service? Or is it just something else? Okay, so all the templates right now, because it's a new feature that came after the templates were created, all of them are set to advanced, but you can set it to physical. All right, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Cool. So yeah, that's a little bit about products inside of Webflow and how to quickly get going with a template. And before I go to the next part about designing stuff like your add to cart, your checkout pages, let me go to the questions. Let me make sure I'm keeping up. Question from the stream. Timothy, are there any subscription alternatives to MemberStack you can recommend? I'm a fan, of course, but the catch is I need to receive subscriptions before I can afford MemberStack. If you want to MemberGate, if you want to paywall something on your website, I only know of MemberStack that works well with Webflow. Oh, and there's another one called MemberSpace. But if you don't need a MemberGate stuff, you can use another platform like Patreon, buymeacoffee.com, Gumroad. There's a bunch that can do subscriptions. So there's that. Junio, this functionality e-commerce already works for Brazil? Good question. Stripe Brazil. Pricing fee. If Stripe works in Brazil, then yes. Yeah, you would have to see if, let's see here. Marketplaces global. If Stripe, so the reason why I'm looking at this is because it's still in preview, so I don't think it'll work. Okay, so Webflow e-commerce is built on top of Stripe, and so when you start collecting revenue, when you start collecting orders, it's actually sending a signal to Stripe. So that's stripe.com. And if Stripe doesn't work in your country, then you have to wait on it. Yeah, so that's one of the limitations of Webflow. So it currently works in all of these countries right now. But if it says preview, it means that Webflow doesn't work on that yet. But once Stripe announces that, hey, it's full, it's ready to go, then it'll work. All right, so it only works here. So sorry, Brazil. All right. And so when you're starting up Webflow e-commerce, it's going to ask you to set up these things like add a payment provider. So if I click on this, okay, I have to do some other stuff. So when you set up your payment provider, it's going to ask you to connect to your Stripe account. All right. So let's see here. Is Stripe the only option for payment? From Nikki. Stripe is not the only option for payment. So what you can do is, let me go to the order checkout. So yeah, we'll move forward. So you notice there's this button right here. So you can do Apple Pay, but you can also do Google Pay with here. All right, enable web payments. So if I click on, there we go. So you can have people pay by credit card, and that goes through Stripe, or you can have people pay through PayPal or Google Pay or Apple Pay. And they all, there you go. Yeah. So you just need to connect those things and you'll be good to go. Yeah. Good questions. Good questions. All right. So those are questions so far. All right. So how do we start customizing stuff like this shopping cart? So again, Webflow makes it easy, relatively. So if I double click my cart, I get to this element settings panel. And if I open the cart, this is just like opening some sort of modal, right? But this is a special modal that lets you add products that people have added to their cart. And so you can style this however you want, all right? Like taking a text block and start making it bigger with the font, like something like that. And then let's push the line height. Oops. Push the line height to like 26. Push it down. And so if you're not familiar with Webflow collections, this is the same thing. This is the same exact workflow. You have a bunch of your collection list items, and when you move one thing, you're moving them all. Okay? So let me put item name for the class name. And there we go. You know, we can even make this bigger if we want. Let's see here. I have the width of 60, so let's make that 110. And there we go. We've customized it. Let's give it rounded corners. Cool. Let's add some sort of like box shadow to make it come out of the page a little bit more. Okay. And so, yeah. Customize it however you want. And remember that purple color that's following us around? Again, it's that swatch. It's that swatch that's following us around everywhere. See, that background color is brand. And so I've changed that once and it changed it everywhere. So if you don't like the cart to be on the right, you can have different types. You can have a drop down on the left or even a centered modal. All right. So centered modal, it'll look like that on the left, on the right, or a drop down. So yeah. And if you want to take it even further, which is more advanced, you can add Webflow interactions to all of this, but it's up to you. Okay. So let's go ahead and close that cart, and there we go. So that's editing the cart. Now let's go ahead and edit this right here. I'm gonna click on the cart button, and yeah, what if we want this, like say, want it bigger or wider? And let's center. No, we can't. How do we make that shopping cart bigger? Oh, it's an image. Cart icon. How do I make it bigger? I can't. No. Huh. Well, you can mess around with that. Add some more rounded corners to make it look more like a button. You can even change this cart icon by replacing it with another image if you want. Again, it's your world. It's your call. What if I change this like orange? Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I'll just leave it white for now. I wonder why I can't change the size. And even if you want, let's see here. Cart button. What if I want to add a piece of text? So I'm adding text inside of there. Oh, okay, there you go. And I can just say cart. And push that to the side. Yeah. See how simple that is? I just put a piece of text inside of the cart button, and made it say cart. And that's it. Okay. All right. So that's editing your cart. All right. And now, since we're on the checkout page, again, I showed you how to change the web payment of this page, either Apple Pay or Pay with Browser. You have that, but there's also a part for checking out for PayPal. Okay. So yeah, this is, oh, let me go back to order page. Wait. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So we're on the checkout page, and Webflow already gives you all of the form fields that you need, all the basic form fields that you need to start selling your stuff, including this sticky sidebar. One of the things I like to see as a consumer is to see my items, right? See, so these order items, stuff I'm about to buy, right above the price. So what I can do is I can take this order items and put it above the order detail. The order detail being this sidebar. So I'm going to drag order items above order detail. And there we go. I see this right here. Oop, okay. I want both of these. I want both of these to stick. So let's see here. What can I do? Okay, so this order detail has sticky. So I'm going to delete that. Wrap both of these in a div. Just like this. Wrap both of them in a div and make this sticky. So that way they both stick to the top. And again, try doing this without code. Try it. I mean, actually, try doing this with code. Okay, I'm going to move it down a bit, something like this, and there we go. So both of them stick with me. So as I'm moving down this page, I want to continually be reminded of what I'm about to buy, which is a burger and 2 drinks. Pretty good. All right. And you can customize the look and feel of each of these. And say you want even more information from your customer before they pay. So there are ways to get 3 additional form fields, which is right here in the add panel. I can just drag this in to right under web payments. I can drag that in, and there we go. I can get more information. And these are just suggestions. It doesn't have to be a telephone number. I've used this for I've used this for other things. Like this checkbox right here could be for something else. This notes right here could be something else. It's up to you. Webflow gives you 3 more fields. If you need more than 3 for additional information, no, you can't do that. That's a limitation, and yeah, you can't do that. But you get 3. Okay? All right. So that's how to customize this. What's next? The order confirmation. And the order confirmation it looks just like the other page. It's just confirming, after they pay, here's all information. Cool. And lastly, you want to send that customer an email. So you would go to settings, email, and you would set up the look and feel of your email. Now, you can't completely customize the layout of this, but you can do some things like the background color, the accent color. You can change the text of some of these things. So you can change the email. You can change the email subject line. You can change the greeting message. For people who are downloading a digital product, you can customize that. yeah, there's a lot of things to play with inside of Webflow e-commerce. So this stream is just the very, very bare minimum basics of if you are just getting started, where do you start? Get a free template on a starter free account. Do not buy anything until you feel comfortable editing all this stuff. And once you've got your text, your images, your products, all of that inside of Webflow the way you like it, then upgrade the site plan to the e-commerce site plan. And that way you'll gain even more functionality, more options to do more with your site. And you can also launch it live on your custom domain name. Okay? So I know that was a very, very quick, but yeah, if you have any questions, let's take them now. Be right back. I need to get a drink of water. So get your questions in the live stream chat. So see you in about 30 seconds. Let me play some music real quick. Okay, cool. Be right back. Ooh, okay. I was kind of dying there, but we're good. All right. Let me get the questions. So, Nikki, I've already answered that one. Is the Stripe the only option for payment? No. PayPal, Stripe, Apple Pay, Google Pay. BCA, give some information on shipment. Yeah. Yes. Hold on. I have to set up, like Webflow asks you for address. So I had to set that up real quick. Shipment. Okay, so inside of the Webflow settings panel, so you go settings, e-commerce, you have this shipping right here. So you can set your shipping zone. Okay, so it's set to United States for now, but you can click on edit countries and you can set it for whichever country. All right. And you can do different shipping methods. Like, what if I want to do a flat rate, percentage base, price base, quantity base, weight base? Like, you can add as many as you want. Rate amount, so let's say, enter a number greater than 0. Okay, how about $5 flat rate? Or I can set it as free. Yeah, save. Cool. And then I can add a new method saying if you buy 50 items or more. So if you buy like 50 items or more, max quantity 50. No. Minimum quantity 50. Then it's free shipping. You know? And then there you go. So you can add as many different types of shipping methods as you want. And you can also do it based on per country. Okay. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And you can set up your taxes. So if you have VAT or taxes, it is set up here. Yes, and notifications. Like you can have notifications sent to people or additional email recipients if you're like, someone bought something. Yay, I want to send an email to myself, my boss, and my colleagues, and maybe the shipping director or something like that, the logistics director, something like that. So you can send them all an email automatically once an order is received. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Oh, new feature. Yeah, variants. Cool. Digital downloads. Yeah. Let's see here. Do we have variants inside of this? Hold, please. Where's the okay, option sets. Okay. Okay, so inside of Webflow E-Commerce, you also have options, okay, or what we call variants. And what these are good for is things like clothes, shoes, or anything that has a variant. So, for example, like a shirt, that's a product, but what are the variants? Sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, extra medium. So I can do that. Like, let's pretend this is a shirt, even though this is for a drink, fig and lime. Okay, we'll pretend it's a shirt. So we'll just say, like, give that a category name of size or size. There we go. And then we have to set our options. So we have like small, medium, extra medium, and large. Okay, so we have those. And every time I add one, Webflow is adding a variant of each one. And with each variant, you can change the image of the variant. You can change the price. You can change so much of it. Okay? And I'm going to save that. And then there you go. So let me go to the drink fig and lime page. Okay. Let me look for fig. And there we go. And so if you noticed, this has the options or the variants. So there's size, but if I go to something else, that variant is gone. Okay? Because this one doesn't have it. So Webflow adds that drop-down menu. Pretty cool. Super simple. I didn't have to code a thing. However, a lot of people in the community were like, that's cool and all, but like, I want to make some sort of like button. I don't want a drop-down. Can I do something that's not a drop-down? And the answer for a long time was no, but we'll get to it. Well, they got to it. So here's how to play around with that. So if you look here, and I clicked on the element settings, there is no way to style this. Okay, there is no way to not use a drop-down menu. So what you need to do is take this element, add to cart, and delete it. And then add another add to cart again. And now we have a lot of options, okay? So what we did was we had to delete the old code because, again, this template was created before the new feature was added. So we had to delete that old code and put in a new one. So now that we're in the new one, watch what happens. If I click on the options list right here and then go to the option settings, remember we only had pre-select default variant? Well, now we have variant selector. Now we can say a select field or buttons. And there we go. All right. So watch again. Let me go back. Let me undo everything. Okay. So this is the old add to cart. And if I click on options list, it only says pre-select default variant. To enable the new version, you have to delete the old add to cart and add the new one. And then if I click on this select field, if I click on option list right here, I get pre-select variant and I can select buttons. And there you go. So that's the difference. Okay. And with this button, I can just take this and say, let's make a pill. Okay. Let's make a pill type of thing just for fun. All right. So, excuse me. Let me call this variant button. So when I click set that as a variant button, all of these have that same class name. Okay. So as you can see, I set it once. It sets it for all of them. Cool. Now let's play around with the first one. So I'm going to click on the down arrow here and say for the first item, okay, so notice how it says first item up here. For the first item, let's make the rounded corners just for the top left and bottom left. We'll say that one is 15. Okay. And then for this one right here, let's go to last item and set this to 15. Okay. And then with all of these, let's see here. There we go. For all of these variant buttons, let's remove that margin right so they're right next to each other. Okay, do -1. And if I preview, there we go. And I can also play around with the hover effects as well. So yeah, this way you have more control over the style. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a button. You can make it a circle. Like imagine if you had colors, right? Yeah, let's make colors. Actually, rather than just saying it, let me just make it right now. So say we have that option set, and let's do colors. And let's just say black and then white. Okay. Done, save. And there we go. We have black and white. But can I make this a different okay, so I need to make a background color. So if you made a background color field, you can connect it to, but I don't have one yet. But you see what I mean. Let me do a hover effect with these real quick. We'll do purple and white with a preview. And there we go. Cool, cool. All right. So that's one of the bigger new features for Webflow E-Commerce that was updated.